Hey, what's up, guys? Max here. Let's talk about the pity new crystal system, acquiring new champions, the way that Kabam is going to be introducing this new crystal opening way of how we are going to be getting new 7 stars. Now, I got to say, I was pretty shocked to see this. First impression was like, wow, guaranteed 7 stars every 30 crystals. This is what's going on? Why is Kabam being so generous? Now, overall, my take on this was very positive. As I kind of asked some questions and then thought about it even some more. Obviously, not everything is going to be great and amazing and super positive. There's going to be some downs, and I have two major ones when it comes to this new system. We'll talk about it right now, but overall, the whole way of getting new champions is going to be it's insane. That's how it changes. Now, one of the pillars, for me, one of the foundations of this game is in getting a new champion. Kabam announced that this month of February makes 300 champions inside Marble Contest of Champions. Okay, every month they're introducing 2 new champions inside the game. They're creating new champions, and that's been always the foundation from the beginning of like getting, playing the game, launching new champions. Looking forward to that, like that champion you've been, Marble character that you, superhero that you've been wanting, and it gets introduced into the game. New mechanics, new features, new playable options, where it's offensively good, defensively good. Now we have battlegrounds where that defensive champion helps a lot more than just Alliance War. So very great system. Introduce into one of like the, again, pillars of MCOC on how the game functions, how the game stays alive, and hopefully this helps them to do even more, right? Stay up a lot longer. So yeah, very nice, very nice. Let's talk about it very quickly. Let me just give you the 2 little downers that I truly don't like about this new system. So here is, let me see, I have it up here. I think it's going to be, they showed us an infograph. I think it's right here. Yep. So first, let's talk about this. There is a 200 count feature 7-star. Okay, so right now they talked about starting the crystal opening with Luke Cage, Nova, and Hood, and I gotta say, Kabam did a good job the way they thought about it with the 2 guys right there, showing us like 5 crystals getting a Luke Cage, or showing us 10 crystals, 11 crystals getting the Luke Cage. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be even 30 crystals to get the Luke Cage, guys. It's gonna be 200 crystals to get the Luke Cage, to get the Nova, to get the Hood. If you're chasing one of those 3 champions right now, those are going to be the testing champions, okay? This is obviously going to get introduced with the latest and newest champions, which is good. But the test champions, which is Luke Cage, Nova, and Hood, is going to be 200 crystals. Now, how this system works, if you had 0 units and you were paying cash for your crystals, the conversion is $10 per crystal. And that conversion basically means it's $2,000 for every feature champion. That is a insane amount of money. I get it, Kabam. Sky's the limit. Let's put the if you don't put the milestone really, really high, then you don't know what you're missing out on. And that's just too much money, guys. Like $2,000 per player. Now we're gonna get onto the positive things because there is a lot of positive. And actually, let's mention it right now. It's a progression positive. So meaning like it's not just the 2,000 all up front. You can spread it out over 6 months, 8 months, and it doesn't feel as bad, right? Instead of spending $2,000 just up front for one 7-star feature champion. And the feature champions are Luke Cage, Nova, and Hood for testing reasons right now. Obviously, those are going to change. But at $2,000 per 7-star feature champion, way too overpriced. I think even less than half should be the total amount, like maybe 80 crystals. like $800. That seems reasonable. Like, how much money does Kabam expect to make from each champion every single month? It seems to me like they're shooting for like $300,000, maybe even more per champion. Like, I understand there's a lot of teams involved, a lot of people have to be paid, a lot of people need to be earn their profits and so on. But $2,000 per player. Ideally, if let's say if one player wants to just chase the one champion and hasn't opened anything, that seems kind of crazy. Now, again, the positive side of it is that it's progression. So it's maybe you're not really chasing. Maybe you're just like a guy, a gal that loves to open crystals. And so this is going to progress you. This is going to get you closer. So when you do want to chase that one specific champion, you go pretty hard on it. You go open a couple of $100 worth of crystals. Then you can kind of guarantee yourself that you're going to get that champion. But overall, though, $2,000 just feels like a lot. Just way too much money. Okay. Yeah, just way too much, man. They need to definitely either drop it in half, still make it very expensive, which is $1,000, or completely drop it to, like I was saying, 80. So, but 2,000, it's, I don't know. That, like, initially, my initial reaction, I got stuck on the 30. I got stuck on the guaranteed 7-star, and I was so excited. But then as I kind of asked some questions and dug a little bit more, it means it's $2,000 per feature 7-star. Now, like, the positives, like I said, the positive stuff is that it's progression. It's not just, hey, you spend $100 and it goes to waste. It doesn't. It's like usually with the previous system, spend $100, it's all RNG. There's no way that you can say, hey, I'm working towards guaranteeing my 7-star. Now there is. So that's the positive thing on it. Okay. The second thing I would say, what is this saying? The same old wine, but in a new bottle. Okay. So in the last couple of months, we've had Kabam give us an introduction of like selling 7-star champions. And that might have been a filler to test out the feelings, the sentiment of the community. They've been selling 7-star champions for 9,000 units. Now, you don't get to pick the 7-star champion you get, but you were there was always an option between 2 7-star champions, and it was usually you were only able to pick one for 9,000 units. It's basically the same thing, but better. Okay, so now every 30 crystals you get a 7-star. It's not the feature 7-star; it's a 7-star. So here's the better part of it. Okay, and also the downside of it: you don't get to pick the 7-star. You get you get. As opposed to before, you don't get to pick the 7-star, but you had a choice between 2. And if one of those 2 champions was the one you wanted, you spent the 9,000 units and you got that champion into your account. Now you spend 9,000 units and you get a random 7-star. So you might be getting a 7-star that doesn't matter, that, you know, obviously you would never rank up, level up, and you're stuck with it. Okay. Meaning, I don't, it's not a bad thing. I know it sounds like a bad thing, but compared to the system we had before, where it was 9,000 for a 7-star of your choice between the 2, it felt like that was a little bit better, you know. But Kabam would have to do that consistently, like a lot, so to make it like a normal thing. But this obviously system is better, and the reason why it's better is because, again, this is really good for the players, in which there's a lot. Because chasing a champion is one of the foundations of this game, right? There's a lot of players that open crystals. There's a lot of players chasing 7-stars, new champions, 6-star champions, and so for them, this is good. So every 30 crystals, you're going to get a random 7-star. It's not going to be the Luke Cage. It's not going to be the Nova or the Hood or the featured chase champion. It's going to be whatever 7-star they decide to give you. So that's cool. And so you're gonna get ISO, you're gonna get 6 stars in between as you're working your way towards that guaranteed 30 crystal 7-star. So I like that, but again, at the end of the day, it's 9,000 units total that you're spending. It's $300 to get a guaranteed 7-star, and you have no idea what you're gonna get. There's still a lot of RNG involved, but a better feeling, a better system overall, because even if you don't open 30 crystals all at once, you know, let's say you just you grind it, and you're the type of player that you're like, you know what, I want to open some crystals. I'm feeling the luck. I'm feeling the RNG. You open 5 crystals. In a typical world before this new system, those 5 crystals paid out whatever they paid out. Let's say you didn't even get a single 6-star. So now you do. Inside those 5, the batch of 5 crystals, you're gonna get a 6-star. Okay, because every 5 crystals without at least a 6-star is a 6-star. So you should be getting one, and then the rest of them might be a 7-star, a 4-star, whatever it is that it's going to pay out. One interesting thing from my understanding is let's say you're opening a batch of 20 and you do get a 7-star inside that batch of 20, I believe, and it's like number 10. Let's just keep it easy. Number 10, the number resets itself. So you need to open another 30 to get another 7-star. So it's not going to be like, oh, I opened 20 or I opened 20 and number 10 was a 7-star. And then I opened 10 more and I get another 7-star. No, I believe they talked about it in the live stream. Obviously, when this goes live, we'll see exactly how it works. But they talked about it in the live stream that number is going to be able to reset consistently. So that way, it's not like they're just paying out 7-stars to everybody that opens crystals. Let's say you get some crazy good RNG, you get a 7-star, and then you open 20 or 5 or whatever the goal is to get to 30, and you get a 7-star again. They actually show a very nice little info chart. I think I had it up here. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's right here somewhere. Here. So you can see the progression, kind of the details of how to get the champions. So they when they were opening crystals, they are 11 crystals away. So they've opened basically 19 crystals. So 11 crystals away to get a 7-star. And then, they still need to open 175 to get the feature Luke Cage, and whatever right now is Nova, Luke Cage, and Hood. So 200 crystals. That's insane. That's a lot of crystals. Now, big shout out to Yusafa, because there is players that do open crystals like this. We have like channels on YouTube, like obviously he's done some openings, but we have Dem Epic Well too, that they open like 100 crystals chasing the 7-star champion. In the I would say in the early year of 2024, we saw videos like that being dropped, where they open like 50 crystals trying to get the latest and newest 7-star champion. Another batch of 50 crystals trying to get the new latest and champion, or a batch of 100 crystals trying to get the latest 7-star champion. And yes, there is players that do spend like that amount of money, which is like thousands of dollars trying to get the latest champion. And obviously Kabam has that data, has that numbers, and understands that. But I think when it comes to the masses, there might be like maybe 100 or so players that do that. But overall, there's majority of players that can open maybe like, 30 crystals, 50 crystals. And so if you can get them to go from 30 to 50 to like 80, even 100, stretching at $1,000, I feel like guaranteeing that number instead of 200 to 100 or less should be what needs to be a change and fixed and just updated, because $2,000 per new 7-star feature champion, that is too much. And ideally, one of the things, and here's just the reason why I keep barking on this topic, is one of the things is that this game functions for the chase, but also with Battlegrounds being one of the nicest and most active game modes I see, is that it requires people to have the latest champions. Now, once you buy the latest champion, and hopefully they don't keep it at $2,000 price tag, you now have to work on ranking up the latest champion, leveling up, sigging up the latest champion. So with possible relics coming by as well, there's going to be another mechanic, another feature they can sell to improve the champion. So I don't know. I hope that they change that because, like, there is a lot of money to be made just overall when it comes to the crystals because that's the foundation. That's how the game has existed. At the beginning, they were selling champions, and over the last 10 years, now we have events that sell, also champions, and sell rank up materials, sell a chase, and so I think having players be able to get the latest champion, the team works so hard to build, to add, introduce into the game, make sure it works properly into the game. So having that being able to go live in people's account and not have to wait months and months before they get their hands on it, like that excitement kind of whittles out and dies out because not only is there now between the 6 months that you're like, oh, dude, let's say Luke Cage came out in February, but you can't drop $2,000 to get yourself to Luke Cage. Well, you've been working your way, and now it's like 6 months later, let's say July, 7 months, and you're now finally closer to that 200 crystal, and you get the new champion, and you're like, but I really want a Luke Cage. So I think that number needs to go lower just because it gets the players involved more if they have the champions to play with them to rank them up. It just makes more sense to me, at least as a player, but also thinking as the profits and making sure that the company, the monies are being brought in, so that way that the game exists for another 5-10 years. I just think it's not like a greed. I just think the bar was put too high. And will people hit it? Yes. But I think majority of people, to get more champions into people's hands to be able to play with them, that's the goal. That number of 200 needs to be a little lower. But overall, though, the system, the new way of chasing champions, getting champions, I like it. Like I said, I actually don't know. I don't think I will be participating too much inside this crystal system, opening system. A lot of it has to do with I'm trying to build up my stash of units over 2024 and 2023. We've seen a pattern already, kind of like having a big chunk of units towards the end of the year is always a big requirement. We this month of February, we're going to have this Valentine's event, and that's going to require a lot of units. So we're going to see that also drain some units. So we're going to see those type of events kind of throughout the year. So that's going to cost more units. So I don't know. You got to really sit there and do you really want this? X, Y, and Z when it comes to the offers, or do you stick to a cash deal only, save your units, keep adding and adding? But obviously there is a drain of units when it comes to the new crystals, and that's going to be exciting. A lot of people are going to open it. Like I said, it's going to be really good. So I wish everybody luck with the new system. I myself will probably just be watching from the sidelines. And probably stick to my old way of getting champions still through the events and then through the Titan crystals and see if that pays out, waiting until the 7-star champion drops to the basic. We're able to open a lot of 7-star crystals lately more consistently. I would say I'm not opening I feel like I'm opening in a month period and in a 30-day period. 7-star crystals, and again, we get sometimes the same champion over and over, but at least between 5 to 8 crystals a month, 7 stars. Yeah, I haven't calculated exactly, but I would say somewhere around there. So it's quite a good amount of 7 stars compared to what we used to. And then Titan crystals, depending on the event, depending on the month, maybe 3 or 4, so content's been a lot lately, and so we've been getting paid out a lot from the buildup of content over the last year of 2024. So the end of 2024, beginning of 2025 was really good for Titan crystals. So we'll see how that treats us. Right now that's kind of how it feels. If they lower that, then this makes more sense for people, but I don't know. I like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I know there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this, but overall, I think it's a good thing for players, especially the ones that open crystals. I think the ones that chase champions this way, it's going to be really good. The payout's better, the guaranteed 7-star. Just the one thing is the $2,000 price tag, the 200 crystals on the feature 7-star is just too overpriced. I think get the players, let the players get the latest champions. Let the players be able to get it, but not at a $2,000 price point. Drop that number, please. 80. And if you still want to keep it expensive, 100. But 200 is just too much. Yeah, guys, take care. I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Peace.